Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us at 3 o'clock with SOC. Give me a second while I welcome our Spanish-speaking neighbors. Buenas tardes. Gracias por estar con nosotros hoy en 3 p.m. con SOC. Si quieren acceso al programa en español, por favor marquen el número que aparece en pantalla 436-6200. Cuando le contestan su llamada, por favor comparten el clave o contraseña 627-682. Thank you for being with us this Friday, May 29th, 2020. My name is Tammy Rivera, and I'm the Executive Director and Lead Organizer for Southside Organizing Center, SOC or SOC for you old schoolers. We're so happy that you're here with us today. We have a great featured guest with really critical, important information about MPS, our own Dr. Posley, the superintendent. Today, I want to remind you that you can enter our daily drawing by simply filling out our survey, and it's a win for everyone. It's a win for you because you could get a $25 gift certificate in these hard financial times. It could be a boost for you and your family. It's a boost for our small businesses who are hurting at this time because we have a list of businesses that support SOC, local businesses, and those that are doing some really good deeds during this time. And they get business. And then we get your survey input that helps us improve our programming to meet your needs and share with our funders what you're thinking and what's working and what's not. So we really encourage you to do that. Please know that we are here for you as we have been since the pandemic started. We haven't missed a day. All of our staff is virtual, even our youth organizers and our seasonal canvassers. And so if you get a call, please know that SOC is checking on you, asking you if you need any resources for COVID, and asking you if you need any help filling out the census. And you can reach us in all the same ways that you have, except in person, and we're looking forward to when we can do that again. Our phone number continues to be 672-8090. Our email is soc@socmilwaukee.org, and our website is socmilwaukee.org. We have an entire page dedicated to information, resources, and action you can take in response to the coronavirus. So please do visit us there. We have a short disclaimer to share before we go ahead and jump into our program today. The views and opinions shared today don't necessarily reflect those of SOC. We have an obligation to say that as we're a certain type of nonprofit organization and we have restrictions on certain activities, but also because we're really committed to ensuring a safe voice for residents here. And sometimes we can't sign off on all of those thoughts and opinions, but we certainly want to make the space to have the dialogue with you all. With that being said, we want to jump right into our guests for today. We have been through a hard time here, and what we're trying to do is continue our tradition of forums by bringing you our direct leadership here locally. So you're hearing from all those folks that we have elected or entrusted with positions in order to bring their leadership to areas here in our community and to make sure that you have original source information. Looks like we're going to need a couple of seconds to get our guest online. It's Friday, and so maybe our software is acting a little tricky because it's nearing the weekend. So what I'd like to do in order to give us a little time to get our guests ready is I'm going to invite on our Civic Engagement Manager, Gabe Charles. And Gabe is going to give us an update on civic activity. Hola, Gabe.
Hi, Tammy. How are you doing? Happy Friday.
Okay.
So last week I told you all about an update that would be pending for this week from the Wisconsin Election Commission. about how they're going to spend a $7 million grant that they received from the federal government to support elections for the rest of 2020. And they met on Wednesday to confirm and finalize how they would spend that money. And at this meeting on Wednesday, they voted unanimously to mail about 2.7 million registered voters in Wisconsin an absentee ballot application. And this is really exciting because at first that was going to just be a absentee voting informational mailing that wasn't necessarily a application for an absentee ballot. It was just going to be how you can apply to for an absentee ballot. So the fact that it's now actually going to be a physical application for an absentee ballot is really good news, and will hopefully get even more people voting for these next elections in 2020. And that's going to be about 2.3 million of the total $7 million of this grant. And within this 2.7 million registered voters that will be getting an absentee ballot application, some groups will not be included in that. So if you already have an absentee ballot request on file, you will not be getting an absentee ballot application mailed to you. That's going to be about 528,000 people. And the idea is that if you're already on the file for having requested an absentee ballot before, you would know how to do it now. So that's a group that won't be getting a ballot or a request mailed to them. And then another group is those that may have recently moved. About 158,000 folks will also not be getting their absentee ballot requests mailed to them. So if you have moved recently, you might not be getting an absentee ballot, but if you want information on how to do that, we are here for you. Please just reach out to SOC, to myself, and we will get you that information. We've mentioned a number of times myvote.wisconsin.gov, and you can go through the process online. The commission also voted on a 4-2 vote to spend $4 million of this federal grant to give out as grants to local clerks to help them cover the expected raise in cost for the fall election. So as we mentioned before, you have to pay for postage when you give someone an absentee ballot so that they can mail it back free of cost. So with more absentee ballots going out, there will be increased costs for local clerks. So part of that grant will go to local governments like the Milwaukee Election Commission. Additionally, the rest of the federal funding of that $7 million grant will be going towards cleaning and sanitation supplies and redesigning the ballot envelope. So Lieutenant Governor Barnes mentioned yesterday that the absentee ballot envelope will contain a barcode that the Postal Service can then use to scan to provide updates, live updates about where the ballots are. So voters can know where is my ballot and know that it's on the way, which was a huge issue for the spring election. Additionally, the commission unanimously agreed to send postcards to about 200,000 people at the end of June who are eligible to vote but are not registered. And this is a routine effort by the election to make sure that people know how they can register to vote if they aren't. Another piece of big news today is that after 15 years, Neil Albrecht is retiring as the executive director of the Milwaukee Election Commission. And this is a position he's held since 2012. And Mayor Barrett chose Claire Woodall-Vogg to take over as executive director. And she's been with the Milwaukee Election Commission for about 8 years, handling things like voter registration and central counts. I have here a quote from her that's pretty optimistic. And if we're thinking about the disenfranchisement that happened at the spring election moving forward, if this is something she actually takes on, it will be good to reduce voter disenfranchisement. So here's a quote from her. Throughout my time at the Election Commission, I have watched more and more hurdles be created for voters, and especially voters that are living in poverty, voters that move frequently. My mission is to make voting accessible and to try to remove the barriers by providing education, by providing increased access, and really simplifying the voting process as much as we can so that voters can navigate the complexities of election law in Wisconsin. And this appointment by Mayor Barrett has to be approved still by the Common Council, so we will keep you all up to date with that appointment approval as it comes in. And I was going to leave you with a census video, but it seems like our guest today, Dr. Keith Posley, is ready, so we want to make sure we have ample time to talk with him about MPS and about all that's going on there. So we will switch back over to that, and I will talk to you a little bit more about the census after his session.
Thank you, Gabe. Thank you, Gabe, for that update. And so happy to bring to you today our leadership from MPS, Dr. Posley, our superintendent. So we welcome him on right now. Dr. Posley, good to hear from you. I need some help here. And can you all hear Dr. Posley? I am, again, having a problem hearing. So let's see. Waiting for some sound technicalities to be resolved. Dr. Posley, give us a second as we figure this out. What we'll do in the meantime, we'll try to figure out the sound technical difficulties. And what I'd like to do is bring Gabe back on, our Civic Engagement Manager, while we problem solve this Friday. Gabe, will you share our new promotion coming up next week, and then introduce our census video for the day?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you all know, we've had this ongoing survey that would allow you to win $25 to a local business or restaurant if you fill out this survey. And so we've done some special promotions. We did the Mother's Day promotion. And next week, we want to do one to honor all of the graduates that aren't going to get their traditional graduation ceremony, but who have worked tirelessly to graduate whatever program they're in, whether it be high school, college, an associate's degree, whatever it may be. We want to honor folks that have put in that work and that care about themselves, that care about their community, that care about their future. And we want everyone to be sending in pictures of them, whether it's a cap and gown, a cute graduation outfits. We want you graduates to send us pictures, or if you have a graduate in your family as a parent or a sibling, send us pictures of your graduate that you're so proud of. We want those pictures, and we want to see all of the amazing individuals that we have in our community that have put in that work. And then if you send us a picture and you also send us along a screenshot of your completed census or some kind of proof that you've done the census, you can be entered into a drawing to win $25 for next week. So doing the census is super important. We talk about it a lot on our forum, and filling out the census shows you, to your family, to your community, that you care about them and that you want us to get the funding and the political representation that you and your community deserve. So to all the graduates that are graduating, I'm sure you do care about your future, about your community's future. So filling out the census is just one way to prove that. So let us know that you have filled out your census. Give us, like I said, a screenshot or some kind of proof that you've done it, and you will be entered into that drawing. And then we'll have a slideshow of all the beautiful pictures of our graduates. So get those pictures in over the weekend and through next week, and Friday in 1 week, we will have that slideshow and announce the winner for all of you.
Great promotion, Gabe, great idea. Thanks for bringing that to us. And then I'll let you introduce the census video, and hopefully we can resolve the problems with our guests.
Yeah, so just like I was saying with graduates who want to show that they care about their future and their community's future, this next video, it's just a minute-long video, talks about one way that the census can impact the future and different issues that you might be facing in your community. So I'll have that come on now to give you all a deeper look.
Meet Leo, Leo and his family have been living in the same community most of their lives, but lately he's noticed a change. Schools are getting a little more crowded, the drive a little longer, and there are fewer child care centers available. Not to mention federal assistance programs have become more limited. Leo realized that the lack of a strong voice representing his community has resulted in many of these problems being overlooked, which is why he's decided to participate in the U.S. Census. Participating in the census will help ensure that his community receives its fair share of funding for public services and fair political representation. Like Leo, you too can make a change by getting counted. Stay informed about the upcoming 2020 census by contacting Naleo Educational Fund. Text census to 97779 or call 1-877-352-3676.
Thank you, Gabe. You're always keeping us up to date with what's happening in our civic engagement world, and very appreciative of that. While we work on our guests, I'd like to bring on our communications manager to do our promotion regarding our gift certificate, and then I'll announce yesterday's winner, and then hopefully we can get rolling on the topic of MPS.
Hi, Community Forum. Reminding you of our daily $25 gift certificate drawing by filling out the survey located in the comments section. In the following day's forum, we'll announce the winner. It's a quick 5-question survey, and you can enter daily and win daily. Thanks for those of you who have been filling them out, and thanks for tuning in. Now let's find out who's today's winner.
The winner for yesterday's participation is MJ Franco. MJ Franco, are you with us today? If so, you're the winner of the $25 gift certificate. And what you need to do is send us an email at soc@milwaukee.org, at soc@milwaukee.org. Let me say that again, soc@socmilwaukee.org, to get the ball rolling and so you can claim your certificate. Let me say some hellos to our faithful participants. Hola, Marianne. Hola, Diana. Yes, we can't hear. We're trying to figure that out. Hola, Brenda. Stacy Carlos. She's encouraging Alejandra to send in Miguel's graduation picture. Yes, please do. We want you all to dig in. I'm going to check and see if we're ready for our guests. And ask production crew, do we have them on? And in the meantime, what questions do you have for Dr. Posley regarding MPS this summer, this fall, or the referendum? What questions do you have? We know that yesterday Elsa asked to make sure we find out what will be happening with our population of students with special needs. We have a question as well asking to explain the relationship between the superintendent and the school board and how that works. What questions do you all have for Dr. Posley? We'd love to get those answered. I'm sure you're all wondering, especially our parents, how many of you are homeschooling your children right now because they're off of school? Or did this since the pandemic? How many parents do we have out there? I homeschooled my children for a little bit, a couple of years at home, transitioning between their schools. It's really a lifestyle change in addition to education. Let's see here, Diana. Support, is MPS going to have children returning to school who might have a hard time, and what kind of orientation will they be giving parents? Okay, what kind of support is MPS going to be giving parents? Is there going to, and Stacy asked, is there a poll or a way to voice what we would like to happen in the fall? We can certainly ask. Great questions, more coming in. I know they have 3 different options at the moment, but some have their opinions already about it, says Stacy. What options are they sharing with you, Stacy? Can you share that? I'll have you write that while I try to bring Dr. Posley back on. Let's see if we can get Dr. Posley on and if all the sound is working. We're so sorry, Dr. Posley. We're so excited you're with us. Let's see. Can you hear me? And okay. One of the phones is working. Not sure which one it is, if it's Mr. Galvan's or Dr. Posley's. Can you say a quick hello, Dr. Posley, to see if it's this? Let's try the other phone. Looks like the other phone was working possibly. Mr. Galvan, can you say a hello? So can you hear, Mr. Galvan and Dr. Posley, it looks like I can see and hear you in Mr. Galvan's phone. Can you see and hear me? Can you hear me? I see Senor Galvan and Dr. Posley on Senor Galvan's phone.
Said everyone can see and hear you.
Yes. Can you say hello? We're going to see if we can get them to hear us and respond.
Can you hear Tammy? No.
No.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
I can't. We can see you, but we can't hear you.
I can hear you. You can.
Hello?
So I'm going to ask questions via the text and see if they can answer them. How about, let's ask them the first question. How about introduce
They can see you, but not hear
yourselves and the role of superintendent and their relationship to the board. How about that question to start? Let's see if we can get them to answer that question via text.
Can I get Gabe sick and she turn her phone up? Like it's up, though.
It does look like it's up.
I'm going to text them and see if we can get them that way. Please bear with us. You guys have been so merciful to us. I've asked them the same question via the, Mr. Galvan, can you hear me? Let me see if I can phone. Time to phone a friend. We're going to do what we did that one time, if you all remember, when we had difficulties that we had to get them on the phone and talk.
Hello.
Mr. Galvan.
Yes.
Hola, I have you on the air. It's Tammy Rivera. We haven't talked for a while. Good to hear your voice.
I know. How are you? I'm going to put you on speakerphone so Dr.
Yes.
Posley can listen in, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Hello.
Dr. Posley, we persevere. We find a way as MPS alum. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cell phone for sound. We can see you. On your phone, we can see you. We can't hear you, but we'll use the phone for voice. So welcome. Thank you for sticking it out with us. We're so happy to have you, Dr. Posley.
I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So what we'd like to do here is start off the program with a little sort of civic education for our residents. Could you share a little bit about the role of the superintendent and how its relationship is with the school board of directors?
Yes, thank you. One of the things with the superintendent's job, there is 9 school board directors. There are 8 that are in regions and 1 citywide seat. And it's the Milwaukee Board of School Directors. And then it's underneath is the superintendent of schools. And so my responsibility is to work, and all 9 of those individuals are my bosses. Those 9 board members I work with for the betterment of the Milwaukee Public Schools and all of its children, over 76,000 children. Wow. And 10,000 employees. Wow. And so my responsibility is to be that conduit to the board, to the school community, to families, and doing things to make sure that children receive a wholesome quality education as we move forward.
Awesome. I want to let you know that I went to View School. Senor Galvan was the principal there after I graduated. And our alumni group worked with Senor Galvan while he was principal there to support their efforts. And then I did graduate from South Division High School. I was there just a semester, my final semester, but I did graduate from there. So we have a strong tradition of MPS here at SOC, many graduates from there. So hello, Senor Galvan, and thank you for your assistance.
Hello, thank to see you. Thank you.
Dr. Posley, could you brief us on what will be taking place now that school is wrapping up for graduates? What the summer's going to look like and what you anticipate the fall to look like?
Well, there's one thing that our learning process continues. We never stop learning in the Milwaukee Public Schools. There's something going on 24/7. So this summer, school is getting out early. Start schools have completed, and now on June 11th, our traditional schools will complete. But we're going to start right away. We have 2 summer school sessions that's set up for the summer. We have our June term, which is from June 1st through June 26th, and that is for 6th through 12th graders, and it's going to be a total virtual summer school experience. And then in July, we're going to have from July 6th to July 31st is our July term of summer school, and that's from kindergarten through 12th grade. And on the 1st of August is our completion ceremony, basically for our summer graduates. But what we're working on now is a school reopening plan. And so we're spending this month, we started early this month, and we're going to spend all of the next month working on a reopening plan for the upcoming school year. And I want to encourage all stakeholders to get involved, because we want to truly hear from you and truly hear your ideas about what we should do and right now in the midst of this pandemic, and what this will look like with social distancing, a face mask and gloves and things that we would have, PPE type of things that we will have to, children will have to wear and we will have to wear as adults. What that will look like and how we get our hands around that particular piece, working with families, and also meeting some of the needs of families, because families count on us to make sure that we have wholesome quality education for their young person during the run of a school day. Along with that, we are going to be looking at, we are also in the interview process, hiring a number of teachers and principals and school leaders, and for an array of different jobs in the Milwaukee Public Schools. So all of that goes on in the summer, along with the summer planning, a wonderful, robust plan around professional development for our teachers, what we're going to do for the upcoming year, We have our academic piece is the Ambitious Instruction Plan 2.0. Next year, it will be Ambitious Instruction 3.0. And so therefore, we're basically focusing in on the area of math, reading, and writing, and drilling down in those areas, making sure that our young people master those content areas. So the summer is going to be a robust summer where we're going to be doing a number of things, preparing and getting ready for young people, preparing and getting ready for our staff, and also reaching out to families because it's enrollment season. Yeah. And we want to encourage everyone to please sign your child, your young person up for the Milwaukee Public Schools. We have a number of different opportunities, bilingual education, immersion programs, Montessori programs. We have a bilingual Montessori program. We have the arts. We have, STEM and STEAM focuses in our school with Project Lead the Way. We have AP programs and IB programs and gifted and talented programs. We have a program for every single child in this city.
That's great to hear. And so the opening MPS plan, school reopening, are there certain benchmarks we're looking at, Dr. Posley, that will let us signal to us that they'll be in school or virtual still?
Our goal is to try to get information back to the Milwaukee Board of School Directors by the end of June, so that our board will make a decision on that, and then we want to roll out things to families right away. Our ultimate goal is to be back in the brick and mortar buildings doing school as we have always done school, but we know that that it's going to take a little time for us to get back to where we need to be. And so we are prepared for the whole thing around social distancing, looking at how we transport our students from a transportation standpoint. We normally have 45 students on a bus, and with social distancing, we maybe get 12 students on a bus. So what that looks like and how we might have to have some type of modified schedule. So we might have to have a virtual blended model with a virtual piece as, it's more like remote learning from home, and then also being in the school. So we're looking at it both ways. So the learning process for our young people won't stop. But we are doing everything that we possibly can to inform all of our families so that they can plan and know exactly what's going to happen. But we are planning for the unknown. We don't know exactly what the next chapter will be, but whatever that will be, we will be planning. We are planning for just that. So we're planning a number of different ways.
So we're going to keep tuned to what's happening with the school board to stay abreast of MPS's options for the fall. And then remind us, Dr. Posley, enrollment dates. Do we have that information? And then SOC will do its part in making sure residents understand when they should be enrolling.
Our enrollment dates never stop. Okay. And I will ask you to go to the MPS website, and our enrollment dates, and right in the middle of our homepage is a big button that says Enroll Now. Okay. So we ask that you go there. We have online registration. You can enroll online. We also have in person. Right now, we don't know exactly when we're going to start our in-person piece because of the restrictions that we have right now. So we're doing more of a virtual piece by enrolling online. So please go to our website, mps.mke, and take a look at what we have to offer.
I'm going to let our viewers know that website link has been put in the comment section, so people can click on that now and go look at that. Thank you for sharing that production and the staff that is on Facebook Live. Let's say some quick hellos to our viewers and see if they have any questions for you, Dr. Posley.
All right.
I'm going to say, and just so you know, we are broadcasting the program simultaneously in Spanish as well for our Spanish-speaking residents via phone teleconference. Hola, Marianne, Diana, Brenda, Stacy. Good to see you. Here's some questions. What type of support will MPS be giving kids who might be returning and their parents, given the situation? Will there be additional sort of measures for orientation and support for parents? And I think you said that, Dr. Posley, earlier, that there'll be extra efforts made to inform parents, if I heard you right, about what's happening.
Correct. And we're going to do everything that we can do to keep you informed via auto dialer, social media, the news, the newspaper, all of those sources that we use on a daily basis to stay in touch with families.
Awesome. Stacy Carlos wants to know, is there a poll or a way to voice what parents would like to happen for the fall? Is there a place they can give their input?
Absolutely. And right now, what I would say, we have a help desk that's set up with the district. And if you go directly on that homepage, I would ask that you go and make your thoughts known to whoever that answers the phone. We have, so at one desk, we have someone there from 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. And the other desk, we have someone from 8 to 8. And by all means, before closing, I will give you a contact number that you can be in touch with us. I have Mr. Galvan, who's here with me, and he's the regional superintendent in the Southwest region, and he will be able to give his phone number and all that good information. So I'll pause and allow him to do that at this time. Mr. Galvan?
Yeah, certainly you can always reach out to me. You can reach me at email, galvanem@milwaukee.k12.wi.us, and I will share my phone number with you as well. 651-2617, 414-651-2617.
Let us catch up with that in the comments section, that you can always reach Mr. Galvan. And again, will you share that email one more time, Señor Galvan?
The email is galvanem@milwaukee.k12.wi.us. And again, si necesitan en español, también puedo contestar en español.
And the phone number?
414-651-2617.
Great. Let's see if we have any other questions. So please, Dr. Posley and Mr. Galvan are inviting you to share your thoughts about what could happen for the fall by contacting MPS. Let's see here. There are a lot of questions about returning, and Dr. Posley shared, as soon as the school board makes a decision and as they monitor the COVID-19 circumstances, they'll make that known. Parents saying, I've been having my kids do the work sent from school. Great job, parents. So proud of you all. Just digging in. It's not easy, but together everybody's going to get these babies through. Diana Becerra, what supports will MPS have, if any, for special ed students that may have a hard time readjusting?
Those same things that we have for regular ed students, we have prepared for students with special needs as well. Also, I would say we're going to spend some time with social emotional learning with our young people, when we come back, as well as now looking at how do we do that from a remote standpoint with our young people as well. There's a number of different agencies that we work with, and, we're connecting families and children with those agencies as well. And we're also providing support from a trauma-informed care perspective, as well as, the type of services that are needed, if that's a social work services, psychologist services, and also from a virtual standpoint, school nursing services as well.
Awesome. Another question here. What plan for children with weakened immune systems? How much obligation will there be for them to go to a traditional school with those risks? Is their health for their health and to stay safe and alive?
Great question. One of the things that we are hoping and praying that there is a vaccine and soon. But the other side of this, we know that social distancing work, and we know that wearing a mask work. So we're going to look at how we can bring that into the educational environment. And that was one of some of the scenarios that we shared in our reopening plan, was so if we have to have less students in a school to make sure that children can spread out, adults can spread out, so that they will have that 6 feet apart. We're doing those kinds of things and troubleshooting through that to make sure that all of our children are safe and healthy.
Excellent. Patricia Hernandez says hello.
Hello.
Lillian Ramos, hola. Will children be held back or have to repeat this grade in order to move forward?
Not at all.
Okay.
And we are working on promotions and graduation standards with our young people right now. Our teachers are looking at the standards that each of our young people should know and be able to do and master. They are working from a collaborative standpoint with our young people on a daily basis in those areas to ensure proficiency so that no child will have to repeat their current grade.
Awesome. You all have done a great job of giving us questions for Dr. Posley. How about Dr. Posley? Let's move on to the topic of a successful referendum. Will you want to speak on that for our viewers?
Yes, I would first of all like to thank all of our viewers for supporting us in those efforts and making sure that the Milwaukee Public Schools, through your vote and your actions, to make sure that the Milwaukee Public Schools were able to have access to $87 million. And we won the referendum 78 to 22%. So that was a landslide victory. And we're excited. And it couldn't have come at a better time because our children truly need those dollars. So we were rewarded $87 million, phased-in approach. We're going to get $57 million this year. And there's a number of things that we're doing around attracting and retaining highly qualified teachers. We're looking at art, music, and physical education and library media specialists that all of our children should have. Early childhood education, we know that works for our young people. Class size reduction, which is, making sure we have smaller class sizes and children learn better in smaller group dynamics. Advanced academics is one of the areas that we have put some money in. You're talking about the Montessori school, your bilingual schools, your immersion schools, world languages, all of those kinds of things fall under advanced academics. And career and technical education, the cutting edge of the future is technology, making sure that our young people are prepared from a, technology standpoint, science, math, and engineering, and making sure that we're focusing in there. But also supportive services is another area that's big, where we're going to bring in more school counselors, more school psychologists, more school nurses, and more school social workers. So all of those individuals, our children deserve all of those individuals to help them be the best student that they can possibly be.
So glad to hear about how that referendum went and what it's going to be used for. How about you viewers? How many of you are MPS alum? Stacy said all 3 of her kids went to Forest Home Elementary. Both of my boys went to the Spanish immersion school. So let's weigh in. Here we go. Diana says, let's put some focus into helping children with disabilities read, because we have only 4% of proficiency in reading in special ed. and they make 20% of the district. And she says, we can do this, exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Thank you. And we need your support. And that family that said they had children to go to Forest Homes, there was 4 best years of my life was spent at Forest Home Avenue School.
Oh, excellent.
So I am Forest Home Avenue proud.
Clarissa says she went to MPS. Maria Alicia said, Diana said, I'm an MPS alum. Stacy said, proud Zablocki Community School parents. Thank you all for digging in with us. Dr. Posley, is there anything else you'd like to talk about now that we have residents as we close this segment?
I would just like to say, first of all, thank you, community, for stepping up and supporting us through this pandemic. We are experiencing unprecedented times, and we are dealing with the unknown. But you have truly stepped up, and and nowhere in history where parents have, parents are the first teacher, but now a lot of times parents each day have to do that robust teaching and support for your young person at home. And I want to personally say thank you for that. Thank you for being patient with us as a district as we travel through to make sure that we have connectivity and make sure internet services are working for all of our young people, to get Chromebooks out, and also going to the distribution sites to pick up those homework packets and all of those kinds of things, emailing, keeping us abreast, working with us. I just personally just want to say thank you for that. And I will share with you that Milwaukee Public Schools is here, and we are here to stay. We are here to do everything that we possibly can to support your young person. And thank you for being partners in education with us as we do what we can to provide a wholesome, quality education for each child in the city of Milwaukee. I want to also encourage you, if you're not an MPS parent, become one. Enroll now. Please enroll in the Milwaukee Public Schools. This one of the things that I always brag about. Diversity is truly our strength in the Milwaukee Public Schools, and I will share with you, we appreciate diversity, and equity is our focus of what we're doing around from an equity lens, an equity standpoint, and we are trying everything that we can to do to make sure all of our young people master those areas of math, reading, and writing. We want to build those foundations so that our young people can go off and do great things. I say to all of the parents, our students, and all of those individuals that just love Milwaukee Public Schools and have played a role in any kind of way, you truly make me MPS proud. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm going to leave you with some comments from our viewers and then commit with you, Dr. Posley, to have you back, have some of your staff back. Maybe we can have a bilingual education day here, a special ed day focus, an enrollment focus. We can work on that together. So I'll leave you with some good comments here. Alejandra, she went to MPS, Forest Home, best time. Her boys went to Zablocki. Clary, thank you, Dr. Posley. MPS teachers are amazing. Stacy, we appreciate teachers and school staff more than ever. Thank you for your work. Also, Dr. Posley. Lily is nostalgic. Forest Home is not the same without you. Thank you so much, Dr. Posley, and we'll be in contact for continued partnership with our community.
Thank you.
Be safe.
Yeah, thank you.
We persevered, made it happen. Thank you for sticking it out with us. And we'd like to remind you to be with us next week, 3 o'clock with SOC, Monday through Friday, bringing you the latest in the response to coronavirus, to civic engagement, including the census, your local leaders and authorities bringing you direct information and keeping you involved with the decisions making process and engagement for Milwaukee. Be safe, and we'll leave you now with our thank yous to our funding partners. We're so grateful for all of you who partner with us, our strategic partners, our resident leaders and members, our bids, our issue organizers, all our volunteers. And we also want to thank our funding partners who make it possible for us to bring you programs and services. We'll see you Monday at 3 o'clock with SOC. Thank you. Be safe.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in to SOC's live forum today. My name is Jeanette, and I am the resident lead for South of the Tracks Polonia Resident Group. Today, we'd like to thank some sponsors: Wisconsin Voices, Community Development Block Grant, Neo Philanthropy State Infrastructure Fund, Movement Voter Project, Catholic Campaign for Human Development, Zilber Foundation, City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention, Tides Foundation, City of Milwaukee Promise Zones, and all the faithful individuals who support SOC through their personal donations. We thank you. We hope you all are staying safe. Talk to you soon.